Bill Jasper with the New American Magazine, and it's my honor this morning. I'll be interviewing Jim Barfield. He's the director of the Copper Scroll Project. He's about ready to head over to Israel on a very important archaeological discovery.
I happen to have figured out how to understand one of the ancient scrolls from the Dead Sea Scroll collection. It's called the Copper Scroll.
Now, the importance of the Copper Scroll is, correct me if I'm wrong, not only that because of its nature being metal, it has lasted very well, but it seems to give the directions as to where all of the gold and silver objects, as well as the Ark of the Covenant and the menorah and other things like this, are buried, correct?
It does. It's got some amazing amounts of gold, silver, gems, but that's not the important thing. The important thing is the artifacts that are going to be pulled out of the ground. Let's start with the less important ones, or the really important ones. Bowls, cups, platters, things that were utilized during the time frame of, I believe, at the time that they were actually using the tabernacle. They used them for the tabernacle services, and then whenever the King Solomon built the temple, now they began using them for the services within the Temple of Solomon.
There's another very interesting issue involved in this, specifically about the main object, the Ark of the Covenant. In the Bible, we learn when the Philistines and others came against or took possession of the covenant. Right. They were afflicted with plagues and all kinds of things happened to them. We know that they were not allowed to touch them. If they did, it could be fatal. Indiana Jones shows the Nazis in a fictional thing being annihilated by the Ark of the Covenant. So, you find the Ark of the Covenant. What do?
I send in the most unneeded guy first. Send him in first. Let him. No, we do have a plan. Yeah, don't touch it. Just go in there and take a peek. What I actually have in plan, already laid out with a specific individual, rabbi in Israel. They have identified the Kohanim, which is a priesthood of Israel. They've identified the Kohath family, which are the ones that actually handled the Ark of the Covenant and the more valuable items. And it has to be those people that handle these things. We can't just send a bunch of Israeli soldiers in there and tell them start gathering this stuff up. Matter of fact, the rabbi himself warned me. He said, Mr. Barfield, if you do go inside of that cave, he said, make sure that you fast at least 24 hours prior, and make sure you're thinking pure thoughts when you enter that cave. Well, I wish he hadn't told me that, because I could thought, oh gosh, I could think of 1,000 things wrong. But he was serious. He wanted me to be, he was concerned about my safety, because he too believes that the Ark of the Covenant could possibly be in there. Can we prove that? No, not yet. But all the indications are it could be in there. We didn't get to dig but about 1 meter. And we'd agreed on 2 meters, but they shut us down for some reason. They shut us down within minutes after us going to that depth. And I don't know why. I got suspicions. So I took that sample and I put it in my report, and I sent it to the Israelis. Now I've got another reason. The first 3 locations on the Copper Scroll are in a perfectly straight line, with the 3rd location being the cave. Passes right, if you draw a line through those, it goes right over the entrance to the cave, where I believe the cave is at. Remember, it's covered. But then whenever I got to the last 5 locations, same thing happened. They started at the very end, southern end of the Qumran complex, and just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 5th one was, again, the location where I suspected the cave was at. I got this cold chill, knowing that I'm the first guy in 2,400 years that has realized this, which makes me the guy that whoever that was writing that instruction, he was talking to me. On this trip, my primary goal is being able to talk to the Minister of Education. I'll just shorten it to that. If she allows me to dig or to attach to this project that they have going to recover all the items in the Judea, Samaria, the so-called West Bank, then that's going to open a huge door for me, because they specifically said in the articles that I've read that they're wanting to dig in the desert and they're looking for a cave. Well, the cave is the most important location on the Copper Scroll. It could be the place that houses the artifacts of the tabernacle, many of the implements that were actually in the tabernacle and in the temple, in the holy place and the most holy place, the Holy of Holies. It could change everything, and it could be rough at first, but I read the end of the book and it turns out good.